Welcome, everyone, to the Potential Awaits podcast. My name is Sue Wedsworth, your host, coach, and professor that founded WORTHResults to help people maximize their potential and achieve what they want out of life. Today, we're going to talk about your values. So, put away all your distractions and focus on today's lesson, because this podcast class is now in session. Do you know what values you hold? The handful of concepts, beliefs, aspirations in your life that you deem most important? You know, when we're asked that question, many people really pause to think. Few of us have that answer at the tip of our tongues. But knowing our values is a critical component not only in your life, but the level of happiness and success that you have within it. In coaching, the importance of values we see how often the insights that develop when people actually sit down and take time to think about what the values are that they have. Creating a list of values may be as complex or as easy as you can make it. And the great thing about this exercise that I'm going to talk to you about is there's no wrong answers. The goal is to just simply for you to recognize, establish, and understand the values that are important to you and those objectives you want to live by in your life. Now, wait a second. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a lot like goals, Sue. Well, yes, there is a connection, but might not be as direct as you think. So why am I talking about values? Values are core beliefs. They guide our behavior and our decision-making, and they are the key to our success and happiness. If you understand what they are, they can guide you more clearly and in some cases even more efficiently. Values are like basically a map. For those that are a bit more techie, let's say instead of like a road map, let's say a Google's map. When you're feeling lost, what do? Well, if you're a man, you sure as heck don't ask for directions. Ha ha ha. But seriously, when you're lost, you search for where you are and where you want to go. You use a map. Or you call up Google Maps and say, okay, and then it asks for your location. And then it says, what's your destination? So bear with me on this analogy. Like Google Maps, thinking about your values will show you, as I said, where you are, and then will list out those values, will provide the guide to follow to get you where you need or want to be. It'll show you what route will be the most efficient or the most effective, and it'll also let you choose which way to go to. The choice is always yours in life. Values will influence our decision-making as it relates to that choice. You choose a certain path. Some may get you there quicker. Other choices may take longer to get you there. Now, sometimes in order to reach your destination, you have to go a certain way. Well, values will also guide you along that path too. Your values can be current, but also inspirational. Current values are related to your beliefs right now. Inspirational values are values that you desire to achieve in life, what you aspire to be. Within that, then, you can look at the list of those values you do act on now and live by now, and those you are aspiring to act on down the road. Sue, this sounds a lot like goals. Yes, it does. They are connected, but that's a good thing. So, getting back to our values, doing this will give you clarity on who you are and also, again, where you want to go. You need this first before you open the map or you open up the app. Before you set on your task of determining what you want your life to look at or what destination you're looking for, you need to figure out where you are. So, I'm going to provide you with a starter exercise, and I want you to do a list of values. Now, in order to do that, you got to start thinking of the values that will hold dear. And for some, that might be a difficult exercise. So this is just to get you start thinking about what your values may be. Feel free to have a pen and paper to write these down, or for those techies out there, take out your phone, open up a note, label it values, and then start texting them in. So listen, write them down. If you don't like them, don't write them down. But here's a few to think about. Accomplishment, adventure, authenticity, balance, commitment, courage, character, drive, determination, energy, endurance, family, financial gain, forgiveness, friendship, giving, gratitude, growth, health, humor, independence, integrity, knowledge, leadership, lifelong learning, loyalty, making a difference, mentoring, positivity, perseverance, physical health, role modeling, responsibility, security, service, spirituality, spontaneity, success, teamwork, travel, wisdom. Now, the great thing about a podcast, if I went too fast, you can just rewind and repeat all of those words again. That way you don't have to miss anything. Now, there are many, many more, and you can certainly find many other values out there, and I encourage you to search for them. Search them in your mind, search them in your heart, and of course on the internet. The point here is to have a connection with these words you're writing down, with these values. You can interpret them any way you like. Again, there are no wrong answers. How you think of them is what is important here. And when you're thinking about them, take care to notice how you're feeling when you're thinking about these words. Are they your values? If so, you'll know it. You will feel it. And when I say feel it, I'm talking about a high-end body and soul from the top of your mind to the tip of your toes reaction. You'll know it. Now, when you're making this list, you don't need to complete it in just one sitting. This may take multiple attempts, and that's okay. Again, this isn't a sprint where the quickest time wins. This is your life, so take your time and give yourself time to do this and, make revisions. And as things become clearer to you, you'll know what that list will end up being. After doing this exercise, okay, you have a list. Yep, I got a list. Now what? Well, I bet there are probably a lot of values on there that are very good, but likely as you're doing this, you're probably seeing some that are maybe better than others. So if that's the case, you may want to start to eliminate some, and you can use this elimination technique. Look at finding the top 10 values. And again, that's going to take time. But figure out which ones really, really resonate with you. If there's more than 10, there's more than 10. But see if you can get it down to the most important 10. Leave it, come back a little later, and see if you can reduce it by another 3 or 4. And the reason for that is we want to get you down to the most important values. These are ones that are really to your core. And to verify what really needs to be on that list and what should remain, think about how you would be acting if a chosen word or words really represented this clear core value of yours. And using the word to complete a sentence can help you in that process quite immensely. So let's say you're looking at a chosen value. Then complete this sentence. If blank, whatever that chosen value is, truly mattered to me, I would, and then see where it takes you. This part of the exercise will really help hone in what you hold dear, what you want to live by now too, and what you aspire to become. Now, here's a couple of examples in order to assist with the process. If financial gain truly mattered to me, I would stop buying stuff with my credit cards and start fully contributing to my investments every month. If making a difference truly mattered to me, I would stop talking about volunteering and contact a charity where I could start volunteering regularly. If being positive truly mattered to me, I'd stop complaining when things went wrong. You see where I'm going here? Now, those above items sounded really easy to develop, and in some cases for you, it may not be. That's okay. Remember, you can't live your values if you don't acknowledge the points where you are now, and certainly understand those ones that you're not quite there yet. The other difficult part of this exercise is honesty. Some people have difficulty being honest about what they truly value right now, what they would like to value in the future, those aspirational values you want to exhibit in life. Now, to help you with this, I'm going to give you another interesting thought. Let's say we followed you around for a week, videotaping everything you did. What do you think we'd see about your values and the way you behave? I bet we would quickly see what you truly value by the way you actually prioritize things in your life right now. Think about it. How often are you doing things completely out of alignment with your declared values? If there's a lot of misalignment, then here's your time to look at those things and realize those unproductive behaviors. Wait a minute, this sounds familiar. Yes. But those unproductive behaviors and values and replace them with those new values that will create a more fulfilling life for you. Finally, after you have a finalized list, write out a sentence or two on how this value is important to you and how you show this value through your actions. It's helpful to think of different areas in your life where your values can come into play. You can also sort each value as it relates to those areas in your life and label them, such as professional values, family values, financial values, and so on. So again, there's no wrong answers. There's no wrong categories or areas of your life. There's no hard, fast rules to connect to. It's clearly what you are going to do related to the actions and actioning the values you want to live by. There are many things we can do to start us on the right path, to change our lives for the better. Looking at where we are, what road or path we want to take is certainly the first step to changing our lives. Now, this is just the start of the journey. We're looking at where are we now? What is important to us now? But also, where do we want to go? So we're ready to look at that, look at the map, and see how things look ahead to get us to our destination. Now, this is just a tip. This is just the start of this journey and the start of this map analogy that I'm looking at with respect to values. I want to talk about this more and connect it more to the roadmap with respect to your life and your values in our next lesson. So make sure you stay tuned to part 2. That's it for today. Thanks so much for listening. I know there are a lot of choices out there, and so happy you spent your time with me today. If you like what you hear, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a lesson. If you want to talk about your own story or have a specific question to be answered next time, head over to WORTHResults.com and connect with me. I would love to hear from you. See you next time.